You are tuned into Boxing UK. My name is Rack Noble. I'm here with Hasim Rahman Jr. Hasim, what brings you to London at this point?
I'm here to announce, I have a very big announcement. Misfits and Team KSI, they're working with me to get this deal finalized, and we should be making an announcement this weekend. So make sure all the combat fans, all the fight fans, MMA fans, YouTube boxing fans, make sure y'all all stay tuned because we got something real big planned, and I think everybody's gonna be excited to see this fight.
So of course, last time round, the fight with Jake Paul, it didn't go through. Now a lot of things went on online. Jake came out and said you didn't make the weight, they changed the weight, you still couldn't make it. What's your perspective? What's your story? What, from your side, was the truth behind the matter?
The truth behind the matter is the commission stepped in, and I believe that the commission stepped in because of Jake Paul kept complaining and kept wanting to see my weight and wanted to be on top of everything that was going on in my camp. They were so concerned. The commission stepped in and opened the tables again for negotiating a weight because now there's a new contract. The very first time we sent back a weight, Jake Paul's team, they canceled the fight. I want to let it be known that the commission never ever said no to the 215 that we asked for. The commission never said no. That was Jake Paul's team, and they completely pulled the plug on the fight. After they told us they would give us until midnight to accept the 205, they didn't do it. They canceled the fight at like 8:07 p.m. Pulled the plug very early. And it was very dissatisfying for me and for everybody that was on the undercard for Jake to panic like that and pull the plug on such a huge event. I thought there would be more thought behind it. I thought there would be more thought into all the people who put time and effort into that card. But, that's not what happened. Jake got scared and he pulled the plug on the fight. But look where we are now. We over here in a foreign country about to announce probably one of the biggest fights of the year. So I'm definitely looking forward to what's to come next.
So of course, going back, the fight between you and Jake Paul, I think it all started from a sparring session. You guys were sparring, a bit of footage came out, and then all of a sudden Jake said he wanted to make the fight with you. Once again, we've already heard Jake Paul's side of the story. What was the real story behind that, and what actually happened in that spar? Because we only saw one round.
Jake actually has released the full sparring footage. If you go on his YouTube, he released the whole 5 rounds of sparring. So it's out there for people to watch. But like I said at the press conference, I was using only my left hand. I think I may have used the right hand just to throw it out there just a little bit, not actually putting anything on the right hand, but just pawing it out there or just throwing it like just so that he gets under it or gets around it, or just to baby it out there. He's boxing a guy with basically just a jab, orthodox. I'm not even an orthodox fighter. I usually fight southpaw, but his team had asked me to, don't go southpaw and, give it about 40-50%, this is the words of his team, so that we can get you paid. Because if you go too hard, I don't know if he'll pay you. That's what his team says. So, I'm in there in the middle of a pandemic trying to make some money. And this is how I feed my family, so I don't take that lightly. But when I'm in here giving you work, don't disrespect me. And that's where the clash came, especially because that wasn't Jake and I's first time sparring. That was our second time sparring. We sparred before his pro debut, and that was even more embarrassing for him. Jake's like, if he was a little bit tougher, I'd say he's like my son, but he ain't tough enough to be my son. I just baby that kid his whole boxing career, and I was gonna do the same thing on August 6th, except I would have definitely ended the show.
Talking of son, of course, you are a son of a legend. Where and how far do you feel your career is going to go? So the Jake Paul fight, of course, has put you back on the map. Taking Jake Paul out of the equation, where and how far are you looking to go with this, and how long can this run for?
My goal since I started boxing has been to be a world champion. So that's where I feel like my mission is headed. I would love to build my profile so that getting world title fights is easier. And that's what I'm doing now. I'm building my profile. I'm gonna. This fight that I have coming up is a tough fight. This is not an easy fight. It's a very tough fight against a former world champion, and I'm looking to go in there and showcase my skills on a world level, in front of the world on a huge stage that quite possibly wouldn't be possible if I wasn't here in the mix with all this.
And just one thing I want to touch on. Of course, you had the weigh-in, which was meant to be the day before the fight. You did choose to weigh in that day, and you came in at 206. What was the reason behind doing the weigh-in in private for your own doing?
Just to show the world that I could have made the weight. If the fight would have never been canceled, I wouldn't have took Saturday and Sunday off. Wound up getting on a plane and coming, and I would have had my full team there with me to lose the weight. I only had I think 2 coaches with me, as opposed to the 5 or 6 that would have been there. Would have had my dad there. Would have had a hotel room with a tub in it to actually help lose the weight, and I would have also had another hour or 2 to 3 hours to lose the weight. With all that being said, I don't offer any excuses to why I didn't make 205. 206 was the weight. Well, 206 was the weight that I hit, and I think that given better circumstances, I could have hit 205. But it was what it was. 205, 206. I'm right in the neighborhood, so there could have been a fight. I don't think that they would have called the fight off if I would have weighed in at 206.
Well, of course, thank you for that, Rahim. Of course, on social media, Jake Paul does run social media, so we do get a lot of his side of it. It's good to hear what your opinion was on it and your perspective. We look forward to hearing the news being announced on Saturday, and all the best for the future. Any last words?
Thank you. Yes, please support me by following me on social media at Hasim Rahman Jr. across all platforms. And La ilaha illallah Muhammad Rasulullah. I'm fighting for all the Muslims still, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned.
Very much. Have a good one.
Thank you.